Trojan Philly, what's up, man? USCJ here. It's the top of the morning. I hope everybody is getting ready to get up, get out, and make some things happen this morning. Listen, we got to talk about conference realignment. Listen, it is straight up going down. It's going down in a major way. And look, I want to talk about some of these teams that could possibly be going to the Big Ten, allegedly. We'll take a look at a couple of sites that are posting this information. All of this stuff happened yesterday. Man, look, Sunday was absolutely a crazy day and just college football talk, period. Not only did myself, along with J-Walk, do a show yesterday, a live show, we did a conference, we did a preview of USC's fall season coming up, 2023 season. If you guys haven't saw that, go back and take a look at that. Look, it was a lot of information put out there, man. We went over, not only did we start off, we talked about a little bit of conference realignment, but then we talked about USC's offense from last year, USC's offense from this year, USC's defense from last year, USC defense from this year, and how do they compare and we contrast, and we came up with a solution, we came up with a conclusion, rather, of what USC is going to be this season, man. So look, you guys go check that live out yesterday. It's me and J-Walk. Now, we got to talk about this conference realignment, Oregon, Clemson, and you got a couple of other schools, Florida State in there, and possibly Washington, to possibly go to the Big Ten, and it was all reported yesterday. You guys already know, last week we heard a lot of information talking about the Big Ten as well. Well, excuse me, the Big 12 with possibly Oregon and Washington, the Big Ten trying to poach those teams. But now, I don't know what's going on. This thing, look, this from what I hear, it could possibly be an announcement coming as soon as Tuesday. So we'll take a look at that. And then allegedly, supposedly, one of our players got hurt. I think it's minor, maybe a broken hand. We'll talk about that briefly. Don't quote me on that. I just heard that that's a possibility. So we'll take a look at that as well. Also, Miami Mega Booster is in trouble again. He's apparently under investigation. We got to talk about that. What can be the domino effect with that? We want to look at that as well, because when you look at Miami right now, Mario Cristobal, and everything that happened, you guys know I brought you a story a while back about some twins, basketball players that were involved with some type of situation with this booster, same booster. Now he's being investigated. We'll take a look at that as well. So let's take a look at all this information real quick that we got today, man. Let's go. This is from CFBRecruits, and you can actually find them on Instagram, and they very I guess you would say dependable site. You know, not one of those that spread rumors. And you look at them, their profile, I think it's like 66,000 subscribers or followers rather. But if you go on, I got another message board that we can show you as well when you're talking about this conference realignment stuff. But this came out yesterday, man. It says the Scoop City has received serious rumors that the Big Ten will add Washington, Oregon, Florida State, and Clemson this week. Now, this is unbelievable, because you're talking about this conference realignment stuff, and this thing is really moving and grooving in a whole other direction, to where none of us had no type of idea that this would even happen on this level. When you're talking about pulling Clemson from the ACC and pulling Florida State, last time we checked, both of these schools, the buyout was so big coming from ESPN attached to the ACC. It was no way that they were going to get out of this, but now it appears that they're possibly getting out of this if this happens. I mean, we'll find out. They said Tuesday, as early as Tuesday, on this other message board report. Let's take a look at that as well. And here's going to be the message board report. You guys know that message boards are basically, and this is from Nebraska, this is a Big Ten message board. Most of the message boards, they usually put out solid information, but here it is right here. Per friend who is connected, he says an announcement on Tuesday, and they're making reference to Clemson and Florida State. Now, this one didn't have Oregon and Washington on there, but ironically, it did have Clemson and Florida State. So I tend to think that there's something close to this, really, it got to be something to this when you talk about Big Ten, the conference realignment. It looks like Florida State and Clemson may possibly be leaving out of the conference, man. So you guys hit me on this. This is big. This is very big when you're talking about conference realignment. What are your thoughts as USC fans as we go into the Big Ten? If not only not only Florida State and Clemson goes and gets added to the conference, but then Oregon and Washington. You guys hit me in the comments and let me know what you think. I can't confirm that Oregon and Washington. I actually seen that Oregon and Washington could possibly on last week when all the stuff was going on with Colorado. By the way, it looks like Arizona may be getting ready to make its way out over the weekend. Looks like they pretty much getting ready to try to lock, seal, and deliver that Arizona to the Big 12. But I was hearing Oregon and Washington possibly to the Big 12 as well. So, but now another report is saying this. So we have to see. But this week, I can say this: I believe Clemson and Florida State. I don't think it's going to be on two different spots. And then I think last week I seen something that just a small report. I didn't pay much attention. That where we just said that Florida State is just trying to. This is not verbatim. I'm trying to remember where it was coming from, but Florida State was trying to seeking advice or something to that nature. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I've seen that now. This comes out over the weekend, so it got to be something to it. You guys hit me in the comments on that. Tell me what you guys think. Now let's get to this Miami Super Booster situation. All right, so this is actually the booster right here, and his name is John Ruiz, and he has a company, and it's an investor. It's a company called Life Wallet, and I'll just read you some of this article. It's coming from On3. Pete Nukos put this article out yesterday, and you guys already know John Ruiz had issues with, I think it was those twin basketball young ladies that went to Miami. But here it is. For nearly 2 years, Miami businessman John Ruiz was the most visible actor in the NIL space. The owner of Life Wallet and Cigarette Racing stated in November he distributed more than 10 million in NIL deals in 1 year of NIL with plans of expansion. Shortly after former Kansas State guard Nigel Pack committed to Miami in April 2022, Ruiz announced that Life Wallet has signed him to a 2-year deal worth $800,000 along with a car. In recent months, however, the NIL activity around Ruiz companies have decreased. The number of announcements of endorsement deals and marketing campaigns have notably decreased. Now, one of the reports that's coming from him in this situation is that he possibly like running out of funds, and some of the deals and the money that was supposedly promised allegedly wasn't there. You guys remember the situation that happened with Jaden Rashada. He ended up, I think he had the situation with going to Florida and in Miami. Then he ended up going to Arizona State. But, he's being investigated. I guess we'll see exactly what takes place with this. But this is a serious situation, like the second situation, actually, that he found himself in, man. So you guys hit me in the comments on this. You guys tell me what you think on John Ruiz. All right, and the last thing I got for you is Rajon Davis. Rajon Davis, big-time player. Projected to be in the rotation this year, whether it's being on the second team or not. Look, Rajon is a big-time player, big-time guy who, if you look at him here, these are the recent pictures they just took. Rajon looks like he's on swole. He got big, extremely athletic. He looked like he's ready to move and groove with it. But apparently, don't quote me on this. I'll just read what someone sent. And apparently, Rajon possibly might have hurt his hand in practice. I don't want to go to the extent. This is just, I don't even know if this is factual or not, but it may be. But you guys hit me, let me know. But it says my guy suffered a broken bone in his hand while making a punch fumble. So you guys will see him cast it for a couple of weeks. Luckily, it was a clean break, and he'll be back out there within a day or two. He's competing for a starting job. So, look, that is the information with Rajon. Like I said, I don't know if that's legit or not. So, look, you guys hit me in the comments. You guys let me know what you think. And that's all I got for you, man. All right, so that is the information right there. That's everything that we have going on right now. So look, how many times do we have to see different teams? We've seen it now. We've seen it with Tennessee. We see all that information, things that happened last week, multiple violations. And look, man, it seems like, I don't know. We'll just see what happens with this, man. But now we see today, well, yesterday, Miami Booster, man. So you guys see it for yourself. He's under investigation. I'm just curious to know, what are these violations? What does the investigation consist of when you're talking about this mega booster? Because if it's involving that football program, you guys already know USC missed out on a couple of guys last year, specifically a big offensive tackle, Big Francis. He came to that big June bash. So I'm just curious to know. I'm not assuming, but I wonder if anything is involved with the football program, man. You guys hit me in the comment section. You guys tell me what you think. Man, this guy now, this is his second situation, infraction. We don't even know if it's an infraction. It's an investigation. So we'll see how this plays out, man. So look, you guys hit me. Let me know what's your thoughts. And then what are your thoughts on possibly Clemson, Oregon, Florida State, and Washington going to the Big Ten, man? What are your thoughts on that? It is this thing is crazy. It's incredible. If this happens, you get teams like this caliber, those caliber teams, Oregon, Florida State, and Washington, and Clemson. I'm telling you, you really just you're trying to get it to be two conferences, because the Big 12. I'm gonna tell you right now. BYU, Houston, UCF, all those teams that they added, that's not going to cut the mustard when you're talking about poaching some teams from the ACC, like the caliber of a Clemson and the caliber of a Florida State. Those two teams have got history. Both of those teams have national championships, and it's going to be hard to compete that now. If you look at it, even Washington has a national championship. If you look at the league, if they happen to get those two teams, let's just look at the Clemson team and the Florida State team. If they happen to get those two teams, Florida State, history, national championships. Clemson, history, national championship. USC, history, national championship. You can even put UCLA in there. And then you look at Ohio State, Michigan. Look at all the history. Look at all the national championships. What conference is going to be able to beat that? I mean, it's going to be unbelievable, man. You could easily see that could be the best conference in the country, man. So you guys hit me in the comments. You guys let me know what you think. This thing is getting real Mickey and tricky right now, and it's getting crazy. Look, until later on, we're going to try to continue to bring you guys updates, news, and no items. But until later on, don't forget, everybody stay blessed. Don't forget to get up, get out, and make some things happen. Until later on, fight on, fight on, fight on.